Hello, dear friends. The signs of change are everywhere for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. Opinion piece, the Great Awakening, paradigm shift, a cultural change, preparation time, end of old programming, new Galactic Encyclopedia, guide to stellar civilizations. Let's start. The energy for the coming advance is slowly growing among humankind. On a day that no one can predict, and completely unexpectedly, the truth will come to light and will be perceived and understood by the masses. At that moment, everything will change for the better and everyone will turn to the light. Consider this time a preparation, but know that the breakthrough is definitely yet to come, says Peter B. Mayer. The idea that all programming is coming to end alludes to a deeper cultural or social change, where traditional ideas, beliefs, or structures are being questioned or replaced by new currents of thought and practices. This concept relates to the current Great Awakening, a movement of consciousness and spiritual change that seeks to transform established paradigms and promote greater awareness and connection with oneself and the environment. Definition: the term Great Awakening refers today to a movement of consciousness and spiritual awakening that is taking place globally. This contemporary Great Awakening is characterized by an increase in the search for meaning, spiritual connection, emotional well being, and paradigm shift toward greater awareness and understanding of the self and the world around us. This represents a shift towards greater awareness, compassion, and connection with our environment, promoting a path towards a more fulfilling, meaningful, and harmonious life. In this context, the Great Awakening encompasses a wide range of practices and philosophies that promote personal growth, emotional healing, connection with nature, non traditional spirituality, meditation, mindfulness, and the development of a more holistic and compassionate mindset. This contemporary movement seeks to transcend the limitation of materialism and individualism to foster greater empathy, compassion, and respect for all forms of life. It focuses on the importance of authenticity, connection with oneself and others, as well as caring for the environment and promoting a more conscious lifestyle. Release: we must defend ourselves. Humankind deserves to be what it is destined to be. Freedom would be worthless if you don't fight for your own liberation. There are 138 different star nations that have come to our rescue. The speed of completion of this final phase depends on the timing and extent of our mass awakening. Many new technologies will be introduced and new professions will be created. If we view the situation on Earth as a multidimensional chess game, in this chess game there are third, fourth, and fifth density components, and there are still four final moves before the liberation of humankind is achieved. Therefore, there are only four moves left. Their battle is lost and ours won. The dark side doesn't want to move and doesn't want to make the last move it has left. Instead of actually moving away, they create confusion with false alarms that will continue to create chaos for some time. The only chance for their efforts is to try to delay their final move. The forces of light and the loving star nations are forcing you to make another move and forcing them to make another move and want the situation to end as soon as possible. The controllers of this planet have had it under control for over 10,000 years, but they literally have nowhere to go, because once they are removed from power, they no longer exist. Mass awakening. The mass awakening will cause the retreat of evil. All those who are not awake enough will be systematically expelled from our planet. They will have to repeat the third dimension on another planet until they learn their lessons. The souls that come to this planet now are incredibly evolved. They are avatars. Its mission is to take humankind to a higher level so that this planet can be part of the galactic community in the next 100 years. We will live as in the beloved Star Wars society, and we will travel not only through our solar system, but throughout the galaxy. This is the plan. In 25 years, we won't even recognize this planet. Everything is going to change very quickly, and for that to happen, humankind has to accelerate. The Earth's frequency is slowly rising mind at about 40 Hz to prepare the awakened among us for the new 5D world. Regressive aliens cannot live at a frequency higher than 8 Hz and therefore automatically disappear. The cabal has been defeated. What is still happening is a regard action by puppets who do not yet know that their leadership is permanently gone, so they have lost. Nothing else stands in the way of cleaning and transforming our planet. Defending. We must defend ourselves. We must defend each other. And of course, we must defend our personal freedom, because if we fail, it will set the planet back hundreds of years, and we will still have to deal with the billions. Almost everything is ready. It has been an extremely difficult journey for many of us, but the time has come to destroy or let the parasitic creatures escape. Humankind deserves the opportunity to develop normally and become what is destined to be. Many of us are part of soul groups from different star nations, from different parts of the Milky Way, or even from other galaxies that have come here to help in the evolution of not only the Earth, but the third dimension of our galaxy in his set. Remember that everything we see, even what we perceive as very solid, is a hologram. This is difficult for many people to understand, but if you put every physical form, everything on this planet, under a microelectron microscope, all you see is light. There is nothing solid. Everything is light created by some intention. Intention creates a gravitational wave, which then creates DNA. You are already all of this. You just need to understand it, discover it, and start the process. Stay tuned, because there is more to come. New reality. The more grounded you are in yourself, the more connected you are to your soul, the greater the understanding of your cosmic connections, easier and more harmonious you can live. Everything revolves about independent and autonomous thinking. Unfortunately, few have learned it. Emphasis is placed on autonomous thinking and the use of individual intuition. Classic docility is discouraged. The power of the wicked will yield the day when people rise up en masse and take back planet Earth, which is ours. Remember, many have not yet tuned into this positive change, and it will take time. What is happening now is the greatest and most beautiful challenge to unite humankind to cleanse, protect, and preserve the Earth as the jewel of the divine universe. Wave of light. According to Byte of Rossi, we are now in the correct phase of the planetary transition. Much has been said about this, and the best way to understand how the transition will end is to look at gamma light waves. If everything that exists is made of light, then nothing makes more sense than this understanding. Since the December solstice of 2012, when Earth fully entered the photon belt, the light arriving each day brings more evidence of gamma light. This growth of crystalline light is causing changes that are driving the planet's quantum leap and taking its frequency into the fifth dimension. Nothing will be the same again, as the carbon base that has always predominated on Earth will gradually change to a crystalline base that is silicon. The human body's DNA, which consists of 12 helices, only 2 of which are active in most humans, is gradually activating to other 10 strands. Terrestrial nature, composed of the mineral, plant, and animal kingdom, is also experiencing the change from the carbon base to the crystalline base. This form of consciousness will increase in frequency, and this will facilitate the evolution of each species within this realm. Among animals, we can clearly see how this evolution is taking place. Human consciousness is also expanding rapidly. Do a self-analysis and see how you have changed in recent years in your way of thinking, understanding, and acting. You are no longer the same as before. In fact, we are in the best moment of humankind. Everything will be understood within this generation in a short time. Solar pulses. If we had a big flash of gamma light in 2012, we had 4 years since then to get used to the new energy. At the end of 2016 came a wave of solar pulses, and each one of them promoted small changes, not only in our consciousness, but in everything on this planet. We have several texts that provide this information from then until now. They also made it possible to clear the primary anomaly that exists in both the Earth's crust and the astral. The cleaning of the astral was completed in 2022, and only a small part remains in the surface and in the Earth's crust, including us, the incarnated ones. At this time, there are no more anomalous entities outside the category that includes incarnated Earthlings. Everything is speeding up, and it is only a matter of time before everything is ready for the big event. Wave of light. It is speculated that this great event will indeed bring a great wave of light, the most intense, that will completely lift the veils that cover human consciousness. It will also open the door of ascension, and those who are ready will forever leave the world of trial and appeasement and move into a world of regeneration that has the frequency of the fifth dimension. When you hear about solar flares, coronal mass ejections, or any other name that identifies these pulses of light coming from our local sun, remember that it is these pulses that bring new energy that is building the new Earth. These pulses are like to a breath that flashes the entire planetary body with new energy. It is the pranas that create life, and now this new form of life has been created on our planet. Final phase. Here everything is parting. The new era has already been announced by our great teacher Jesus, sent from above to bring us the good news. The announcement of the end of the old cycle with the beginning of the new Earth. The planetary transition window is now in its final phase. It is a privilege to be incarnated in this very special moment. Listening and participating in this great event is truly the great prize of the universe. Experiencing the expansion of consciousness within a single life is like crossing between two worlds, yet without leaving that same physical space. We are now on the fourth interdimensional bridge, leaving the third dimensional behind and jumping into the fifth. In reality, all this is nothing more than an expansion of consciousness. The soul is nothing more than personal consciousness. This allows each person to tell their own experience to the infinite universe, or what is the same, their own story. You still can't imagine how important it is to incarnate now on Earth. Once the veils are lifted, you will truly know who you are and what your role is in this scenario. You are much more than you think. I am Viral Frosty, and my mission is enlightenment. Curious. China forms a basic industrial chain for quantum computers. China sets its economic growth at 5% by 2024 and increases its defense spending. Russia and China plan to build a nuclear power plant on the moon. The discovery of an astrolabe more than 1,000 years old tells a story of knowledge exchange between Christian Jews and Muslims in 11th century in Spain. Using artificial neural networks to generate violent images could harm society if the companies that develop them do not reconsider their approach to responsible artificial intelligence, according to Microsoft engineer Shane Jones. Geologists attribute deep earthquakes beneath the Mediterranean to the formation of hydrated magnesium silicate in tectonic slabs. This process causes dehydration and fragility, making the plates prone to seismic activity. New studies confirm the short-term stoppage of the Atlantic cyclone current, which could cause a drop in temperatures in Europe and a warming of the tropics. Cosmologist who was burnt at the stake. His name was Giordano Bruno. He was burnt alive by religious people for suggesting that the stars we see were suns like ours. This is a hard thing to swallow, even though it happened in the 1600s. Galactic Encyclopedia, Guide to Stellar Civilizations. Elena Denan provides detailed drawings of more than 150 civilizations. Encyclopedia Galactica is the first volume in a series of several that provides full color illustrations and summary descriptions of more than 1,000 space races. The concept for this book series arose from Elena Denan's desire to offer a more complete understanding of the major civilizations of our galaxy through a colorized catalogue. In 2020, she published A Gift from the Stars after working for 4 months. In her first book, Elena listed 110 races based on hand-drawn black and white images received through a technological device from her contact, Torhan Eredion. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.